I okay, finally. All right. Let's get going with the thingy of ours, right? We've last time we've actually started drawing the hmm, um, we started drawing a Lilith from a Necronomica. That's a character for our indie game that I'm planning on doing. And before we get back to it, all right. There are going to be a couple things that I will have to work out. But I believe we should be good. Okay, it's working. Alrighty. One needed to make sure before looking into the thing because for some reason Twitch link didn't work on Twitter. Alrighty. I see that Naval Battle Network is winning. That's nice. I really like that game. So there's a bunch of things that we'll need to do today, and yeah, it'll be that. You know, should I say or should I stay or should I go? Okay, let me get the thing here. Alrighty. So where are we? What are we doing? On the last couple things, you could probably notice on the last stream that we've done a lot of planning and we've wrote down things that are going to be genuinely necessary for us to keep on pushing the portfolio. And yes, this is actually some of the work that we do need to do while working on the portfolio. Unfortunately, this necessity, but I dare to say, you can probably notice the sheer fact how the character looks like, and what if I tell you that it's not enough? Because it's not. Unfortunately for character design, or well, concept art, it is necessity to make even several variations. And based on the notes that we've done on the last stream, we have iterations, 3 to 4 versions with notes on why one was chosen. So here's the thing. Of course, we are going to operate on some stuff and I need to make the portfolio, but of course we also need to do it right. And considering that we know, give or take, how she looks like right now, we can make some iterations, and some of those iterations are going to be probably done, just like that, right? So I believe that we would want to go with more of like idea between things. So here she's like more of a cosplayer, right? She's like posing, etc. I think the very next thing that we might try to go for, there we go, for some, why are you lagging? What's wrong with you? Chill hop, what's wrong? I have literally no idea what's going on with chill hop right now. I hate this. Okay, whatever. Let's let it. Okay. So, we're going to operate tightly on several designs, and that's what we're going to probably do today. Of course, the hairstyles also have to differ. I'm going to make a couple. Iterations of the hairstyle. So for this one, I feel like giving her more of like you know, more messy hairstyle. But she's going to be more of like, I guess, tomboy-ish here. So she's going to also change the way how she's going to stand. Here I'm going to borrow the idea for the button-up shirt. And here I'm going to actually go a bit more with maybe instead of fighting with a whip, I'm going to make her using her like full hands of those you know, of those things, I suppose. Here she's like sticking her tongue out because like, you know, esto bleh. And here she's going to do the thing, right? She's going to like keep her wrists loose, if that makes sense. So something like that, right? So she's going to have more of like a gauntlet, I suppose. Maybe not like a full gauntlet, but you know what I mean. And she's going to... yeah, so basically she's going to have like a button-up shirt. right? To be fair, I have to say I've really missed Necronomica as a design, you know what I mean? I really miss Necronomica. Also, I guess at this, you know, in this form she's going to be constantly tired. I guess that'll make much more sense. And I want to give her like this, and yeah. Yeah, that makes much more sense. It's like, you know, we want to explore everything. Here I'm making her more classy. This is more like bow towards the this one's more like a bow towards the Victorian era clothing rather than anything. Although she seems a bit shorter because of the hair on top of her head, so I guess I'm going to lift her up a little. God damn it. You know what? Let me just freaking lasso. There you go. That's that. I am glad I'm here. How are you? Hope it has been. Inmates? What do you mean inmates? What you talking about? Don't drop the... Dear Lord. Bruh. I watched Prison School for some reason. Damn. It is good though, I see. I see. That's good, that's good. Like in a genuine way, not in a good way. I see. Did you start it yesterday? Day before yesterday. So basically one of the unfortunate curses of a concept art is making many, and I mean many, iterations of the same thing. Like because here's the thing, the difference between like normal artists and concept artists is that concept artist has to fulfill a job. Like sure, to the artist also has to fulfill a job, that's why it's a job, right? But on the market, but concept artist is not an artist in a way. It's a problem solver. That is, the concept art is a way to resolve things. Did you know? What did I have today? Yeah, what did you have? The good news. Hey, let's go. What are the good news? Spill the beans. I was gone to a date today. Hey, let's go. And second, I got a new GF. Let's go. Did you already have a new GF, or you were just hanging out with a girl? No, but she cheated on me. Oh. Was it? Wait, I thought like after this case, didn't you have anyone after that? A time when I didn't visit on the stream. I see. Damn, that sucks actually. So sorry to hear. No, okay. Well, I thought, but okay, makes sense. But like, with this also will work. But the idea would be like having puffy sleeves like this, and then black cutouts that would be connecting to this area. And then having this go like, you know, like that, and just give her like this kind of pants. I told you about her, I think, the mole thing. Yeah. I sent that one. Yeah. You've mentioned, yeah. That looks awesome. Yeah. And I guess now, like, giving her, like, you know, typical Victorian hairstyle. Hairstyles. Okay. I give you subs one day. Do you definitely up to 100 subs? I promise it did. Mark my words. Oh my. Well, that'll be nice. Although I always tell people to prioritize their own wealth, so you know. This just feels theory. What you mean theory? Therapy. Is this how it is spelled? I'm dyslexic. Oh, therapy. Yeah. I know what you mean now. Yeah. Whoa. Good to hear. So basically, I'm now looking into some like a different hairstyle, like because she's supposed to have like really long hair. I want to keep that, so I need to figure out how I can tie up her hair so the length of her actual hairs wouldn't be as visible. And she, in this format at least, or level of evolution, she's going to have like always like eye bugs. Okay. Alright, let's give her this some kind of like collar with those. And then like one of these. Then we can give her like a pendant. As far as I remember, we wanted to give her like a pendant, which is supposed to be actually an heirloom. That's a lot of shadows in there. I hope I'll figure it out. Here I'm going to actually draw her with the whip. Okay. She's going to hold it. And we are back to her outfit, so puffy sleeves like this. I hate making iterations, because like, especially when I'm, well, when it comes to drawing for client, I prefer drawing iterations because it's actually way easier for me than to be sure that a client is going to have something they want, right? But whenever I'm drawing for myself, I'm skipping that because I know what I want. Did you know that to make a character sexy looking, you just have to make them an office worker look and dark circles under their eye and some muscles and a tight shirt with some cool ass glasses or hairstyle. Example, Huion Kamvas Kennedy, and boom, now they are daddy material. Dear lord. Oh no. Imagine. One trait's not relatable at all, yeah. Yeah, and just giving her... What is your type of woman aside from Muto or before Muto? It's difficult for me to talk about Muto. Before her I've only had one GF. And for a really long time I didn't really fall in love with anyone after her. Aside from her too, it's difficult for me to say that because I'm looking on a bit wider wider range. So look is like a or anime girl. Oh, okay, okay, like an anime girl. So for example, I really like Tsunade. I really like that. Was she Mizukage, the one with brown hair who could also spew lava? I liked Albedo. But besides that, I like specific internal and external features. So I really like when the character is rather tender, you know what I mean? Like the character knows how to actually be more caring than just, you know, appealing. I feel like that's 106 centimeters, huh? Interesting. And what are you talking about? What do you mean 106 centimeters? To be fair, it's not rather like direct focus to the character. No, she's not 106 centimeters. She's 163.1 centimeter. Which is 5.35 feet. $106 centimeters, that's already like, I think, dwarfism at this point, buddy. It's more like about the character's personality. I like when, since we're at this topic, in anime characters, I prefer for women to have like a character, but at the same time, like, be capable to be rather caring. Don't leave it next, smash next. Yeah. So like, etching. I've seen some etching. I don't think I could say that I'm in any kind of liking for these. I'm rather, you know, I'm rather closed viewer on those. I hate when anime has the what's it called? I really hate when anime has like very stupid. Your recommendation tells my recommendation. I don't recommend any ecchi anime. I recommend, well, like considering the length, as someone who's watching One Piece from start in 2026, I have to say One Piece is one of those that I can recommend definitely. You hear me? Another thing is Freeren. I really like Freeren. I would definitely recommend Steins Gate, Ergo Proxy. Yeah, those are the anime I would definitely, you know, consider as recommendation worthy. Goodbye, go sleep. Alrighty then, take care, bye bye, sleep well. So we've got some, we've got like 3 variants. But here's the thing, I really like this hair with the braid. I kind of like the length that is pointed here. With like everything else. So I think we could kind of change this to fit more of this. So like, it would go like this. Rotate like that. Go here. Yeah, we can actually make it happen. Huh. Okay. When it comes to the outfit, I think we've made like more and more transitioning outfit here. You hear me? Because we've got the this one, which is more like this one is current day focus. This one is more in between. And this one is more Victorian era focus. So that's the thing. I really like those hairs, you know, like to be more accurate, what I really like about this one is this like element of like, you know, her, you know, with her hairs, it's like going like this, you know. And same, like I really like this element here, right? How it's like going all around here, this element from here, and how those hairs on the side are like, you know, going around here with like some fall in here, if that makes sense. And well, the length of the hairs is obvious, I think. But I really like this, like, I don't think if I prefer this, I think we might actually go for those, which are like more like hairs that are let free more. So like connecting all 3 from all of those actually. And that's the hairstyle that I want to go for. I really like those chains too. Are flowing in here, you know, like those lines that are here. It really gives more personality to her, although it might be a bit more hurtful for me to work around this area. It's supposed to be like transitioning version, you know what I mean? So we want to go like the modern days, like modern days based outfit that is going to have some hints of Victorian era clothing, more like goth, Lolita, maybe something like that. So I believe actually this outfit is going to be better, but it's like, well, but with like more that is actually Dilly. What is going to fit her personality? So what is who is exactly the character that we are drawing, right? That's the question that we have to answer, and that's something we're supposed to write from the get-go. So she's a wait, so Lilith is a succubus, right? Known succubus also, because from Christian books, right? After death of her master, she lost possibility to return to hell because of that. Through many eras, she lived, closing in more and more on people as seen the running death from old age. Death from old age. So basically that's like first portion, right? So that's like causation. So her causation is that she as I've mentioned on the last stream, we've talked about her. We've actually broadened the general concept that Lilith is actually a shadin, right? But why is she a shadin? So basically she was called in and her master died. Because of that, she couldn't return to hell. Simple as that, right? So like, she got locked in living world. The problem is that she is immortal, so she can die. She's not going to grow old and die as people do. Unfortunately, she's going to be in a state where she's going to actually like, oh, okay, so for a while she's going to be like, oh, okay, like I supposed to serve, so like she's going to try to serve, and she was doing that, but after some while where, you know, things started to happening, right, based on the different eras, she's started to grow like, oh, so I can like do whatever I want. I have more possibilities. So she's going to like, she started to like choose people, right? Friends, lovers, but all of that started like pass on because she's still immortal, right? And all her friends, all her friends, all her lovers, everyone was like dying of old age around her, and she just simply couldn't even like get a wrinkle on her face because she's immortal. She's like forever 23, right? So she's like forever 23, and basically that's the thing. And that started like bringing some like issues, right? To run away from reality. She got into anime and games, becoming a... That's the thing. Weeb shading. Weeb shading. Slob. Until... Okay. Yeah, so like, that's the thing. So basically to run away from the reality that everyone around her is going to always die, she just ran into like games, anime, you know, like run away from the reality basically, right? So like probably a lot of us, but not to such extremes to become, you know, shading slobs, right? Because of that, I feel that's the thing. So like, what would be the kind of clothing she would wear then? She's 23, right? So like, that's the thing. And like, I don't feel like this would help. And I don't think she would be like constantly in like a cosplay outside, right? For example. Although... You know what? That makes me wonder. It is a really huge choice because like we have to resolve the issue, and the issue is that I've actually made three potentially really good outfits for her, and like we have to progress her into like the point where she's going to be like pseudo Victorian S&M outfit, right? So we have to like push her into that narrative. So first one, which is going to reflect the Shadin weeb slob that she is, then something in between, and the Victorian era like S&M kind of outfit, basically. That's the general idea, right? Because she is a succubus. She is going to like pursue this kind of idea, right? Right. So here she's going to be like the kind of, did you know that that when it comes to the Pokemon to human breeding, you know, this kind of person? Then jump to another one. I feel like more in between. But I really want to give her like some more modern clothing instead of like closing her on the Victorian era. I feel like Victorian era clothing might be like typical Victorian era clothing might be more how to say, more of an costume, right? A skin to the character. On the other hand, you know what? Let's keep this dress, right? Let's keep this dress. Although, okay. Let's do it a bit differently. Even more a bit differently. Yeah, let's close it like that. And we are going to give her a t-shirt, maybe, instead of like, you know? Or maybe? Yeah, like a button-up shirt, maybe. And this one's going to have like those, you know? Thingies. Hell yeah. Yeah. Alright. So let's pick this up. And I think it's going to be more of like, yeah, because we'll have to extend this hair to here. Right? And those hairs are going to like go here. Just like that. Okay. I think that works way better. Yeah. And do I want to give her an entire glow of those? No, because it's going to be more difficult to operate on the thing. This one's going to be the thing we're picking. Okay. Let me just quickly copy the design. We're going to merge it. So we're going more in between to get the entire section. We copy and paste design. I'm going to keep it here, everything on one. So this is our thingy, right? Our references. Here are our attempts. We've picked the attempt and we have the character description and we have the design here. So now, as we have the character design, we want to actually now draw some silhouettes to actually comprehend her personality. So she's like more mentally unstable, right? So she's mentally unstable. Raunchy slash lewd. Dominating. Maybe not gamer, but like Shadin, or I can write Hikikomori. Okay, maybe I'm not going to write it because I don't remember how many Ks are there. Just a Shadin is enough. It's like Shadin, right? General craziness, that also works. So like she's more crazy, but you know, she's going to be lewd, but at the same time like try to, you know, she's at the same time we are going to see her a bit more dominating. So like, you know, she's going to make like one of those like shy poses, right? Like two pointing fingers touching one another, knees like touching together, but she's like going to have like green, mischievous green, or like something like this. To be fair, this pose also works quite well, but let's, you know, check. Right? Yeah. She's going to like be more like hidden. Also, she's supposed to have more like petite frame, so like her limbs are not going to be really like that thick. It's like this. Like this. She's going to stand like that. Leg like this. Arm like that. So basically she's like showing her leg. Of course we need to remember about the balance, right? When we are drawing poses, the characters wouldn't trip over. Especially when we are doing something like that. Hmm. Actually, that one pose when she had her whip out was pretty good. Okay. That one is a really cool pose. And also like maybe showing the leg. So he like, I think we are going to give her like more crazy facial expression. Yeah. So one arm. Hey, hi balls. Got over here. How are you? How's it going? How have you been? Hope you're right. I think this is the first time around, so hope you find a coffee corner here. How have you been? So sorry if you've been already here. Just want to make sure. It's difficult for me to remember everything. How's your day? I've been good. I've been good. Just chilling, you know, after work and such. I think we're getting somewhere with this one. Okay. Hey, tell me how was your day? Did you watch something? Ate something really nice? A hearty meal? I think we're getting somewhere with this one. But it's like, here she's like on her knees and like biting the whip. I think it would be a bit better idea if we would make her stand, because by standing we'll be able to make the thing. And maybe on her artwork, like a splash screen or something, she might actually like use the whip, so whip is going to be in action, right? So like this, I'm thinking something like that. still, but pelvis will be rotated. We would see this leg standing and having, she's going to have her entire you know, weight oriented around this area, if that makes sense. And hey, Balls, tell me a little bit about yourself. Do you like drawing? No. Oh, I see. So how did you find my channel if you are not interested in drawing? This pose is a bit better, but it's not really... I think it's also dominating, but it's kinda awkward. You know what? Let me copy that, paste it. We're going to do a trickery. I'm going to take this pose and I'm going to try to do something here. And I believe the difference is going to be mostly... like this, where this leg is going to be like in a really wide spread here. Yeah, so she's like, you know, actually using the whip. I have no idea what kind of fish that is. On the other hand, I could just go for this and like give her her arm here, and that would be, and give her just crazy thing, like a crazy look in the eyes. You know, that's actually a better idea. It's like she's kind of like hanging herself at this point. Yeah, that's far more. And actually, it's bent her like this a little. That'll be great. That'll actually be quite good. That'd be quite good. What's your favorite sport? I don't watch sports. I'm more of a, you know, I'm more of an artist, you know. I prefer drawing. I play some games from time to time, but it's still not really sport related. As a matter of fact, I have issues with my knee, which is actually making it impossible for me to do any kind of sport. So I kind of never got into it because of those issues. Jay? Okay. So yeah. So basically, I'm like, for now, kind of trying to, you know, make a portfolio for concept art, but also at the same time, I'm kind of designing some characters for my game, and basically, I want to like introduce some works into making the game. I would have to do all of that myself anyway. So like all those, you know, problem-solving things related to art that we see. And yeah, it's, you know, it's just that. And yeah, I think this is actually way better pose here. Because like we have this kind of like crazy we have that like crazy kind of vibe from her, like she's actually like hugging herself, like you see in many anime, laughing basically, like looking at the camera, green. She's going to have like tiresome eyes still though, and so basically she's like dominating here, crazy, so like a mentally unstable crazy kind of vibe, but she's also standing more lewd because she's also kind of like like compressing her chest, so it's like kind of puffing it out. And at the same time we have like this kind of shading thing because she's not like how to say this, she's not like genuinely, you know, working out. Your favorite country? I'm curious. I don't have favorite countries. Each country is like, you know, has its own pluses and minuses. I genuinely want to just visit the entire world. You know, that's like my biggest dream. So like each country for me is kind of valued in the same level. I guess in some way I'm more of a I guess in some way I'm genuinely trying to figure things out with maybe Japan would be like something like the country that I want to visit first, like Japan, Korea, you know, like some of those areas basically. I find that like quite nice. Yeah. And with that, I think we can start drawing with no further problems. Well, first of all, I need to also like describe why I've picked this outfit too. So we need to like pick this here. I'm going to Control C, Control V it again, and expand it a little here. And messy outfit. Also, why Canada? Why do you think Canada is your favorite country? Messy outfit fits well with slowberry. Nature of her. Well, messy, multi-layered. Maybe that's right also. Multi-layer. Messy outfit fits well with slobbery nature of her personality. Victorian era accents, not only underline her immortality, because like Victorian era, like, so she's for sure at least like Victorian era to our times old. At least that's when she was. This is a shape study. Hi Rylan, got over here. How your brain has going? No, it is actually, as a matter of fact, a character design. I'm working on a concept art portfolio, and basically I'm just doing all the stuff that's needed for it. So, like references that I'm using, variants of this. There's another watching? Yeah, of course. We have quite a variety of people actually around the streams. It's just, you know, it's one of those days that are not really fit perfectly. On Discord we actually were doing voting, and both Mondays and Saturdays turned out to be the perfect days to take a break. So, but actually yesterday I couldn't really stream, so I'm kind of like catching up with the stream today. Yeah, so like we've done variants of hers, we've of course made like this, like a short description of her lore to underline how her personality is going to go, what influences her outfit, her stances and whatnot, and her, well, we're trying to figure out her stance, and based off of that, which is kind of similar to this one, but kind of like more fitting to her personality. We now also have to write some notes about why we decided to move on with this design of her outfit. So it Victorian era accents. Sick Ardid. Hi Jenny, got to hear how your brain has going. Hope you're right. Since this is the first time around, so hope you find a coffee corner here. Also, thank you. It's just, you know, well, long steps, right? Long steps, unfortunately. But thank you. So this underlines her immortality, and along with modern changes. Well, I'm really hoping that at some point we are going to do it way faster, but You know, at the job it's a bit different because at the job you're doing things a bit on a bit different pipeline form. It's actually like you're presenting your variations to a director, and the director chooses it for you, right? You, knowing the personality of the character, have to make the variants and then push on the variant picked by the director. If there's something else that needs to be changed, you change it on the go, right? So for example, here we have like all the elements that I'm adding in here, but she has like button up shirt. Who knows, maybe we're going to change it into a t-shirt. This is how concept art works. You're changing it and improve on the design until it fits and resolves the problem of creating perfectly fit character into the design of the game, or the premises of the game, right? So this is why concept art is a bit more problematic, and I didn't really wanted to get into that. I'm more of just character artist. Concept artist needs to be like everything. Environmental art, weapon, vehicle art, you know, clothing designer, character artist, even learn a little bit of 3D if possible, but it's not necessary actually for the concept art. It's just like, it's not strictly connected with art kind of job. Again, it's like a more of like a problem solver, right? You have a problem, you have to solve it. So like, for example, someone gives you like a commission, right? Like, I need a character that's going to be like this, 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 and this, fitting to this, this, and this thematic. Go figure. And your job as a concept artist, as a concept artist, is to actually sit down with all those informations, create like tens of variants, creations, renders, whatever, and present them to the in the end to the actual, to the actual like person, right? I think what we can do is actually trying to also make the characters with a bit more like differences, right? Like, oh, this character is going to be done in my style, which is my anime style. Then we are going to move into a bit more realistic node, right? And we're just going to like work around everything, right? So because I want to be more, show that I'm also more flexible, because another thing with being a concept artist, you need to be able to fit into someone else's art style. And I find myself, for myself, it's to be rather easy to fit my style to like someone else's style. But this is why like very fast master studies are necessary also for concept art. Unfortunately, it's a very convoluted field. with modern changes, apply for what's her name? Lilith. Her name is Lilith. Apply. Well, maybe not apply, but fit to her weeb side in a form of a cosplay. There you go. So basically the general concept is that, okay, she wears that because she's used to Victorian like outfits, or rather she picked a liking to those because again she's Lilith, right? Lilith, th, 2 eyes, th at the end, like the succubus Lilith. Because our game is going to be actually a gacha game, which is going to generally go around the summoning and summoning thematics. It's like more like there will be some demons, but also fallen angels and angels. I have an entire story for that. It's just like the general concept is that we are making a gacha game. Of course, fully free to play. There will be no microtransactions in this game, so yeah. I'm kind of... What's the game name gonna be? Necronomica. Like Necronomicon, but like, you know, kind of... yeah. Like the full name is Necronomica, the Grand Summoning, right? Alrighty. So I'm going to copy and paste this nice name. Thank you. But yeah, I really can't wait. I'm to start working a bit more on the game too. I'm going to although do two things. I need to copy this, so the outfit design, and this as the pose design. And we are going to draw her in that pose. Right? And basically, we're going to figure something out. To work out later on, things later on. Of course, the basic design and concept and whatnot, it should be done really quickly. When's the release though? And will it be available on every device? That's something I'm still wondering about. I'm not sure how good I'm going to be with this. I'm going to work on the game. I'm working on the game alone. It's also difficult to estimate right now the release of the game. I know that I want to make a demo on each, so you'll be able to find it on each directly, but also I'm going to work out... oh, so it's only still concepts? Yes, for now it's only concepts. Mostly because, well, I've started working on things. The systems of the game are going to be really easy to make. That'll be probably the shortest element. Character making is going to be longer. So also for the viewers, right? For us, since I'm working on it on the channel, I think we'll be able to actually figure out that at some point we're going to make like some like lists that people from the chat will be able to give me ideas for the characters, because I feel like starting with 25 characters is going to be good as of a huge, you know, the first release, because we are going to have the 25 characters, and each one of those characters is also going to have its familiar, because you'll be able to have a character in the team, and that character is going to have a familiar which is going to boost its statistics. Again, it's like I'm doing a lot of things basically at the same time. Like I'm like one person working on the entire game, so like I have to think about every single great work, and I need to go. Good luck, and I hope your game blows up. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Hope to see you more often. Bye bye. Actually, I think considering like all the stuff that we've got so far, we could potentially figure out some more elements on the next stream that we're going to do, which is going to be like, I think we're going to draw her in the pose, give her the proper sketch. So that's what we've done so far. It was about 2 hours, but there was also a lot of writing. The brief of the game is usually given to the concept artists, so it's not like they are story writers, and I've also needed a moment to figure out what I need. So in grand general, I've spent give or take 30 minutes to an hour realistically on everything, which is a good time, but I believe we'll need to do a little bit more things. But again, it's 30 minutes to an hour for just generally focusing on the character, I count, which is like writing things down, considering the personality, yada 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 yada. Like, yeah, I feel like if I wouldn't be focusing solely on this whole thing, I believe that we would actually sit down and totally complete the entire character in about hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops, without proper rendering yet. So that's also a thing. Art does take a lot of time, especially more realistic elements, but that's why you want to that's why you actually want to like merge everything, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think on the next stream we're going to draw her in a pose, and we're going to give her a proper line, like, you know, sketch line art, and probably flats. We'll see. Rendering itself is going to take a long time, but I feel like we've got enough for the rendering itself. We are going to have enough time for rendering itself. One way or another, I want to thank you all for coming around. Jenny, Balls, huge thanks for appearing for the first time. Hope you've got your comfy place, and to see you more often on the streams. Meanwhile, folks, as always, stay creative, and I hope to see you all in the next one.